Today I want to share with you 7 magical practices that I want to incorporate and learn about in 2020. Hi everyone, I'm Casper the Boy Diviner, and if you enjoy this video and this type of content, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. That will really let me know how I'm doing with all this content. So today I wanted to cover 7 magical practices that I want to try to incorporate and learn more about in 2020. They come from all sorts of places. I think the reason for me doing this video is to kind of hold myself accountable. For example, I've been reading the Chaos Protocols for years already, and there was this hitless rite that I wanted to do for the longest time, and yet I did no research on it. I did not bother to do it. I was keeping it away. I was procrastinating. I don't know if it's out of fear, out of laziness. There are many reasons, but in the end, this year I just sat down and got it done. In a day, because it didn't have many complicated ingredients or anything, specifically magical that you have to do. This is basically why I'm doing this video at this point in time. I want to hold myself accountable. All these practices that I'm going to talk about are things I'm aware of in the past year, but somehow keep pushing them off and not committing to doing something about them. The first one I want to talk about is creating a servitor, a tulpa, or a thought form. There are many different words for this. They say it's even creating a magical spirit, and there have been many kinds of books about it, a lot of tutorials online, a lot of information out there. So if you are interested, you can look into it. But basically, you are creating some sort of sentient spirit or some sort of mind program that is going to help you accomplish your goals. And I started one this year. I was trying to make a little servitor that would help me with learning and studying and capturing information fast, and yet I never finished doing it. The book that I referenced to do this is called Magickal Servitors by Damon Brand. He is part of the Gallery of Magick, and I'll be referencing them quite a bit in this video because I think they are quite popular. According to their reviews, they have been pretty successful. I have not done many of their rituals, so I can't say anything about the success rate of these rituals, but it is something I want to look into. 6 Ways also covers servitors, and I like how they do it. It's very simple in 6 ways, and how they position it is really like you're opening some sort of job description, and a spirit just comes in to help you with what you want. The 6 Ways doesn't really believe that we are creating a whole new life, and I kind of jive with that, but I kind of also jive with other theories there are. And I guess the only way to really find out is to create a tulpa, create a servitor or a thought form. If you're not comfortable with life, you can create a thought form. And I think there are other books like Jan Freeze's books about creating thought forms that you can look into. I hope this sparks some kind of interest in this area, this magical practice. And if you guys have any experience with this, please feel free to share below. I would love to hear about your experiences. The next magical practice I want to talk about is finding a magical voice. Many people have talked about this. Avalon Cameron has talked about her own magical voice and how she sings, things into being. There is a beautiful concept that is in Howl's Moving Castle, the book version, where the main character, she speaks to things and they come alive because she speaks to them. And I feel like this ties into the principles of animism, and I would really like doing that. I wish I could find a magical voice, talk to my room, talk to my doors, talk to my windows. I've done that. Like, please protect me, keep me safe in this space. And I think it's largely helped. It's just that I've not been doing it regularly enough. Apart from finding magical voice in that sense, 6 Ways also talks about playing with your voice, playing with your register, singing a specific word that maybe you're interested in, you're curious about. Another book that talks about this is The Holy Demon, another book I enjoy, The Holy Demon by Freda Arca. By the way, all these books and everything will be linked below, so you can check them out if you want. Okay, so The Holy Demon also talks about singing to different planetary aspects, singing to Jupiter, singing to the sun, which they recommend as the most basic way, and then slowly moving forward to find your own magical voice to sing to your holy guardian angel, your holy demon, and connecting with them through your voice. And I think that's beautiful. Because I lived in a shared space with my parents, my family, singing freely like that with just trying to connect, I don't know how comfortable I am. I mean, they hear me sing on the ukulele like every day, so I don't think they'll find it weird. I think it's just my own hang-up, so I need to combat that kind of obstacle to try to do this second magical practice and find my magical voice next year. The next magical practice is kind of iffy. A lot of people feel scared. A lot of people have been warning me. It's about the Goetia, and the Glacial Spirits are 72 Goetia demons. From the start, Solomonic magic always referred to the 72 Goetia. They are the dukes of hell, they are kings of hell, emperors of hell, and there are 72 of them, and they all have their own unique powers, their own unique skills that you can summon and ask them for their bidding. I've bought this packet of Goetia coins last year, and it finally came this year. At the same time, I don't know if I can use these coins at all, because apparently you have to make your own coins or draw your own sigils. But how beautiful are these coins? Hellfast, this is Hellfast. So some people are pretty sensitive. They see the sigil, they feel giddy, they feel scared for me. I don't feel anything particular to them. I feel like I just need to do more intense study into what these coins are. And I think I just need to pick the demons that are more, safe or friendly. I have a few on my list that I'm thinking of working with. A lot of people recommend working with like Bune for a start. I think I can't recall the demon's name that I want to work with, but I'll get to that. And the book that I probably will reference, because Goetic magic is not easy. There are a lot of steps traditionally. So I thought, who else better to go than to go with the Gallery of Magic, because they are always so highly praised. Their rituals, while not easy, really not easy, I've read them, they are still simpler than the traditional sense where you have to have a lot of props. I really read, and I think I've already summarized even the rituals in The Demons of Magic by Gordon Winterfield, and I'm hoping to try this next year. But before I actually go ahead to try to work with one of the Goetic demons, is to learn how to protect myself. So protection is the next magical practice that I want to do next year. There are books, Jason Miller's Protection Magic, Reversal Magic, Protection and Reversal Magic, which I find interesting, but they're all like little parts here and there. I have also recently been introduced to a group of friends, teacher. They have been learning from him for a while and they really enjoy his lessons, so I'm hoping to learn some of his practices. One of them is Archangel Michael's Protection Magic, and I'm hoping to learn that because I don't really gel with angels that well. I don't feel particularly connected to them. I don't particularly trust angels just because of all my history and my hang-ups with angels. Just quickly to summarize, because people always question me why. I feel like if someone shows you that they're an asshole, they're at least an honest asshole, because they're not afraid to say what they want. They're not afraid to show their darkness to you. You know how to handle them, you know what to expect from them. Whereas someone who pretends to be really nice, pretends to be super good, super kind, these are the people you have to watch out for, because you don't know what their true intentions are. And that's why I kind of have hang-ups with angels, because if they're always meant to help us, I know they're higher beings, they don't really always have to have an agenda. Maybe they're so high that I can't relate to them, and that scares me. I hope that makes sense. So I'm hoping this Archangel Michael course, which is meant to protect me, would also help me with my Goetic magic, but also help me connect with an angel and try to understand where they're coming from and trust them more. Maybe that would be my breakthrough for next year, working with angels. He also has another course called Golden Flame, which I'm really interested in. I'm hoping to take that as well. Okay, but that's not a separate one. I think the Golden Flame is also about protection within. The next magic practice that I want to talk about is wealth magic. Wealth magic is not something I really do, and I don't know if it's really counted as a practice, but because I'm going to try to follow again, Wealth Magic by Damon Brand, another Gallery of Magic book. He has many different practices in this wealth magic book that is supposed to help you with creating more wealth in your life, more abundance. And it's quite thorough, but I think one of the practices he has is like every day you have to see something and enjoy its beauty. I think that's a beautiful practice, and if it's meant to add to my wealth, why not? But I think it's a really powerful kind of practice. On top of your daily gratitude journal that you may be doing, I find that really beautiful, seeing the beauty in like a candle flame, seeing a beauty in burnt sage, or even something. He talks about seeing the beauty in the ugliest things. This kind of practice can help me also gel with people that I can't empathize with at all times. I hope this can help me see the good in everyone in the future. But that's part of the Wealth Magic book, which I have not finished and I have not summarized. Okay, one of my goals is to really hope to summarize all the rituals from the different books I've read that I resonate with into a grimoire. I'll be talking about that in if it's out in my planner 2020 2020 planners video, but I don't think it'll be out yet. Next one that I want to talk about, which is really important to me, is Ancestral Veneration. Ancestral Veneration is part of my cultural practice, is part of my cultural identity. We are supposed to go to tomb sweeping day, Qingming, every year, and I try to do that. But I do that without knowing what I'm doing. Basically, everything has been set up by my relatives. I just follow. I just, throw the moon blocks or throw coins to ask, are you ready to eat? Have you finished eating? How are the offerings today? And that determines how long we stay, when we go. And it's always with my grandmother, who I love so much, but I can't really communicate with because she speaks a dialect and I don't. I'm going to learn the dialect this year, just FYI. So I'm hoping to connect with her better and learn more about this practice. Apart from this specific cultural practice, I'm also going to read this book called Ancestral Medicine by Daniel Foor. I think I've talked about it in my witchy books to read in 2020. And I'm hoping that will add on to my ancestral veneration in my practice. I think Annabelle Wen also spoke about ancestral veneration and how powerful it is, how much it can add a oomph into your magic practice. And I do feel like I need that oomph. A lot of the rituals I've tried this year, a lot of the spells I've done this year, they are kind of, I wouldn't say they didn't work. I also wouldn't say they worked. So I do want to have that oomph. I do want to see how my practice can end up this year. Last and not least, this I feel like is a super important one. It's called Spirit Communication. Because I learned the tarot and I read 6 ways, I kind of like how they speak with spirits. They use a pendulum. I've talked about using a pendulum, but it didn't really work out for me. So maybe I'm just hoping I can connect with my allies and use tarot cards to see maybe what they're saying to me. And I think the Spirit Keeper's Tarot is a fantastic way to get to that. Reading books that I've talked about in my previous video, your spirit allies, also learning from 6 ways just a little. I'm hoping that will help me connect with my allies better and create a better relationship with them. Those are the 7 magical practices that I'm hoping to learn more about next year and establish. On top of that, I'm hoping to get back to the Tao of Craft and create more talismans. I've not done this for a year or 2, so I'm hoping to get back a little into them. But I'm, even going through this video, I feel a bit overwhelmed by how much I want to add to my practice. Part of why I want to share this is also to share with everyone and see if anyone has any feedback about the practices they want to do, if they're interested in anything I've shared, if they have done anything I shared and had results. I would also love to hear that, or more resources. I also love hearing more about resources. Even though 2020 may be a depth year for me, I haven't decided, but I might make it a depth year. I hope this video was at least interesting and gave you some information about my 2020 and helped you decide on what kind of practices you may want to incorporate in 2020. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. That really helps me out. You guys have a great rest of the day. You take care. Goodbye.